Alright, so this is a bit of a late review, but hey, screw it, let's do it. Okay, so list everything you know and love about the Resident Evil franchise. The tight tension of single-player survival horror, the right dose of zombie enemies at those unexpected moments, the sparse supply of bullets and saves, and of course, the ultimate redundancy, being asked if you'd like to pick up the ammo. Now throw all of those conventions away, and what you get is a piss-poor reinterpretation of the events in Resident Evil 2, in which Badge Leon S. Kennedy battled his way through the T-virus-infected town of Raccoon City. The first problem with the game is the obvious facepalm. The game has you fighting the military. Bearing witness to scientist William Birkin's T-virus outbreak in the town of Raccoon, a task unit of unmemorable Umbrella Special Forces are sent into the frying pan in order to ensure the shady organization can't be connected to the now death-diseased district. But your main enemy is not the sluggish zombie horde that antagonized RE2. It's a group of counter-spec ops working for Birkin. So while a fraction of the few fun firefights in this meager 5-hour campaign will have your character pick apart the dead, most of the game's story couldn't feel any farther from Resident Evil. And the story here is as shallow as it gets, and only allows fans to see events of the classic RE2 from a different perspective, sort of like Half-Life's Blue Shift or Opposing Force expansion packs, except those were hurdles better than this crap. None of the small cast of characters have much to say, nor do they poise any reason for existing other than to aid you. Aid, I use that word very loosely. Leon Kennedy's cameo in particular is expectantly a highlight, but to the extent of offering a deep campaign that gives greater glimpses into the fantastic Resident Evil universe and timeline, Operation Raccoon City is a pointless parade of direct combat. Transition to second issue. The survival horror gameplay of the past has been scrapped for a cliche and done-to-death cover-based shooter. Yeah, as if we don't have enough of those at the moment. Mind you, I've no reservations about a franchise trying something new, granted they do it right. Case in point, Resident Evil 4. Operation Raccoon City doesn't do it right, I'm afraid. The cover system is broken, and the action in front of it is boring. Moving to the edge of a wall or a barricade has you unstick from the edge, so often you're trying to position yourself, and you end up walking right out into the open. Shooting zombies has its merit, doesn't it always, but engaging with military troops is stupefyingly chestnut. The combat poorly designed. My overwhelming concern with the game is that it never really knows what it's trying to be. Resident Evil has always naturally been a single-player series, but jumping into the solo mode starts you off in a character select screen that feels like a multiplayer variant. Throughout the quote-unquote single-player, each objective takes you from a linear ride from waypoint to waypoint, but some parts of the game won't even let you continue if you don't have all your stupid cohorts with you. The AI, especially that of your own teammates, is abysmal. Friendlies will almost always charge right into the fray when you're unloading a barrel into a group of hostiles, and the sound of, "Hey, check your fire," will more than once get under your skin. They're always in your damn way, and it makes the game virtually unplayable at times. Again, why do you even have teammates? Have Six-Slant Games ever even played a Resident Evil game? And with a treacherously tiny campaign at only 5 hours or so, most of your value is going to have to be in the online suite, which admittedly and sadly is a lot more fun. A handful of the standard set of modes are entertaining for the simple reason that you're not playing with a bunch of morons who keep getting in your line of sight. And mind you, Operation Raccoon City is brought to you by a developer who are noted for their work on the SOCOM series, and that's exactly what this RE feels like. For all intents and purposes, it's a multiplayer experience through and through. Resident Evil ORC is an ugly piece of software, to be as blunt as the game itself. The graphics are just barely acceptable by 2012 standards, but the rest of the presentation is sloppy. The animations on characters in combat is non-existent, enemies never reacting to having an entire clip unloaded on their heads. The littered ammo and green herbs, trademark of the franchise, are just thrown around rooms at random, opposed to stashed in a crate at the back of a storage closet or something. Now, I've always been a huge Resident Evil fan, from the PlayStation classics to the revolutionary 4th installment to the epic blockbuster climax of Resident Evil 5, but this garbage is a disgrace to the fan base. To call this an all-time low in the series isn't even fair, because this is not a Resident Evil game. The only reason I would even consider recommending Raccoon City is the fact that it gives you the opportunity to explore some of the fantastic series lore from a different perspective, but even in that respect it doesn't cash in. It abandons the horror, the provoking story, the intense action and the gorgeous shine of its quote-unquote predecessors in favor of a safe sellout submission to the current popularity of the cover shooter. If that's what you're after, pick up Gears of War, Mass Effect 3, or Binary Domain, to name but a few. This Resident truly is evil.